I got my start producing when I was like 8 years old. I got this little Casio keyboard for Christmas, and I had like a Talkboy FX, like from Home Alone, the little tape recorder. And what I would do was I would play like a melody on there, and I would record it on my Talkboy, and then I would rewind the tape, and then I would beatbox to it. So to put the melody from the piano with the beatbox. And then I started like just making beats like that until I got some technology. So I got like a PlayStation music generator. I started making beats on there. And then that went to just buying like software and hardware and stuff like that. So, but when I turned 14, that's when I knew like, okay, yeah, this is really something I want to do. It was a handful of people. I would say Rick Rock was one of them. He had a sound that was like unique, and I'm from Sacramento, California. So his sound was like, sounded like home because he worked with a lot of Bay Area and Sacramento artists, but also he was producing hits for Sean Paul and Jay-Z and Beyonce, and you know what I mean? So he was one of the ones. Timbaland, Pharrell, Kanye West for sure. I'm actually working on an artist project for myself. So it's my solo debut. It's called Wav Legacy. I produced a vast majority of it and work with other producers that put in a lot of work on it too. So. It's called Wav Legacy because just in music we have these files that are called waves. And at first the project was called High Tide because it was just like a whole lot of waves that I was about to release. But I think my music, if I'm not here, I think my music will always speak. You know, if I'm not in the room, my music will speak. So I feel like my music leaves a legacy. So I just put the two together, Wav Legacy. I just like people that have like good energy, high energy. I remember a while ago, I was in the studio with Lil B, the bass god. That was a while ago, but he's one of my favorites. Just because his energy is always good. His greeting is always well, like, oh my God, bro, Jon, you're a legend. We're gonna make hits, we're gonna make history. This is, you know what I mean? That's how his energy is, which is dope. So I would say the bass god. I would say an artist that I work with closely right now, his name is Nelik. He always has good energy. He got a couple projects out. Who else was really good to work with? Oh, Hitmaker, Young Bird. I spent a lot of time like engineering and producing some stuff and writing some stuff with Hitmaker, and he's like, you know, a real creative genius when it comes to the pen and structuring songs and things like that. And we had a good run, and we created a sound that like is very current and prevalent in like the music that is coming out right now. So it's super important. Melody is super important because melody is what people melody is what gets stuck in people's heads. Unless the drum pattern is just like super crazy, like grinding. That drum pattern was so crazy it didn't need no melody. But there's other beats, like Scott Storch was also one of my favorite producers. His melodies just jumped out. They just stand out, you know what I'm saying? From all the old Dr. Dre stuff to Fat Joe's Lean Back to, like, you know what I mean? His melodies, it was always crazy, so. Okay, Jon Famous. Jon Famous put in a lot of work. Jon Famous put in a whole lot of work, and I just feel like there at certain times there's an evolution. At the time that I was given the name Jon Famous was like I was a teenager. You know what I mean? I hadn't done anything in the industry. And then I started to do stuff in the industry and my name started to spread out more. I did some cool stuff. Jonny Gold was just like, okay, I'm reinventing. I have a new sound. You know, at another level of just understanding life, which definitely affects how you make music and what you talk about in your music, and just changes a lot of stuff. So I went with Jonny Gold because my name is Jonathan, and I feel like musically everything that I touch gets, you know, turns gold. So that's where that came from. Very lyrical, a lot of melody to my music. Like if I could sing, I would like really sing. However, being a producer, I think I'm able to tap into some melodies sometimes that just like a regular artist, or not a regular artist, but someone that doesn't play an instrument won't really tap into. So very melodic. The content and the like subject matter, I touch on love, I touch on grinding, I touch on everyday interactions with my bros. I touch on some of like things in my past, my history, where I come from. I talk about my parents. Yeah. It can use it could use a new vibe. Not to knock anybody in Sacramento that's doing their thing and putting on for our city. That's dope. You know what I mean? I rock with all of them. All of them know me, like have like a music relationship with me, some form of fashion. I either produce for them or we've been in the studio together or something. So, but I know there's a lot of talent out there, and I know that the content and the type of music that people make from Sacramento is bigger than like gangster music. Star Boss is the family, Star Boss is the team, Star Boss is the frequency. Basically, Star Boss is a multifaceted entertainment company where we handle everything from music production to artist promotion to artist development. We have a photography and film department. We have a PR department. We have a management department. And it's a platform for aspiring artists or you know, anybody in the industry that says, hey, I have a passion to do this. We pretty much open the doors and say, okay, this is what we've got. Here's your shot to do what you do. And if if you're a real one, then we're gonna keep on rocking with you and building with you and, you know, putting into you to see you grow in the industry. More visuals, like I don't really put my face out there like that. So a lot of visuals, a lot of music videos. I have a short film that I'm working on called Sniper Man, which is like it's like 3 or 4 songs, videos collaged together to create a short film. And these are records that are off of Wav Legacy, my upcoming album. Learn how to play the piano if you don't know how to play the piano. Because once you can, you know, play a few scales, the possibilities are endless. I will also say network as much as you can. Pull up to studios, press play on everybody at every opportunity you got. I would say, I mean, there's a lot of advice. Those are the main two. Press play and learn how to play the piano. And that worked. Oh yeah, shout out to the Fresh Committee, man. Y'all been great.